Alright, so in this video we are going to talk about finishing our sketchbook cover for 5th grade. And what you are going to need is possibly markers. I know you're definitely going to need black marker. You are going to need a black, just regular pen, ballpoint pen, and possibly a pencil. We always need a pencil. So in the previous video, you may or may not have seen where the outlining of your letters will add kind of a three-dimensional block depth to it. But I'm going to quickly review. Now, we currently have our letters colored in. We have the background design started. And I have a orange for my letters, which is kind of one in the lighter range of colors. So just as a review, you're going to then pick a darker color for your letters. And I happen to already have started in purple, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. Now, what you're going to do is say, okay, here's the vanishing point. So every single letter that is the farthest away from that vanishing point on the side of it is going to have a darker outline. So we're not outlining the entire letter, we're just saying, okay, vanishing point's here, so on the left side of my letter, I'm going to add a line. So there's a left side right here. If we look at this diagonal line right here, that is a left side going down. And then we have one more vertical line that is going straight up and down, which is this part right here. So I'm going to go ahead and outline that as well. Okay, so that would be it for the N. Now when we get to the I here, it's kind of small, but there is definitely some areas that we need to outline with our dark outline marker, which includes a little short vertical line right here, a longer vertical line right here. Again, they're on the left side, and then a short one right here. And that is all you would do for the I, this little tiny I. So I'm going to go ahead and move to my right side now. Since we flip to the right side of our vanishing point, we're now going to start doing the right side, the darkest part of each letter, which includes the F part right here. We can do it right here, here, and here. Okay, I'm going kind of fast now. So for this E, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go right side, vertical, and vertical, and vertical, and vertical. Those are all on the right side of my E. You can see the R has already been done. I'm not going to do any of the rounded parts. Sometimes people say you can, but I'm just going to concentrate on just the right side in those areas. So I would do this vertical, I would do the diagonal here, and so forth. So then I want you to think, okay, with this 5, and let me move it over just a little bit. All right, what would we do? Well, we have a vertical here. We have a vertical here, and we have the curved part of our 5 going around that would make it the right side. So I'll go ahead and just stop it right there. And we could also do the bottom part right here. Okay, again, you wouldn't have to do that, but that would be it. We would just leave it as is. So right side of the vanishing point, you put a dark line on the right side of the letters. Okay, so after that's done, I am then going to take my black marker and I'm going to go ahead and outline every single pencil line that is left on the paper. That includes all of these straight lines, and you'll want to take your time, okay? So we'll outline all of these. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and slowly, in fact, I'm just going to use the point of this, and I'm going to outline above my letters. All right, and then I would do that for the whole thing. Now, included in this is going to be the lines that develop or put it into the parts and sections. So I would outline here the curved lines. All right, and I would do that all the way around, top and bottom. Okay, so that would include down here. Again, take your time. I'm kind of going fast, and you can see I'm not, keeping my lines quite as straight as I should. So take your time. All right, again, every pencil line outlined in black marker. That's really going to make it stand out. And then the last thing we will do, and this is what's going to take the longest, is we're going to use a black pen to put some really cool, some fun patterns in the background. And I just so happen to have lost my pen. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I want a variety of patterns in each section, in each part. And I want to, this is actually what's called a zentangle, where you do a series of patterns. And this little area is going to be different than this area. And all of these are going to be different than these. I want you to concentrate on mainly being in a line form. You can look up zentangle or look at the example if you have one and see a whole bunch of different ideas. But lines can be as simple as, like a variety of lines could be, I could go with a long broken line like this, and I could alternate it. And once I start a pattern of lines, I want to continue until I get done with an area. So I'm going to go ahead and just alternate. There's also a time when you're going to say, okay, this is fine, but these don't stand out very well. So maybe you want to develop some contrast and make them a little bit darker. And we'll look at that in just a little bit here. All right, so that could be a section. It's not filled in a lot, but that could be a section. I could also start with something that is a curved line or a jagged line. For example, I'm going to start with a triangular jagged line. I'm going to do this all the way across. And there's so many different ideas that you can do. You got to use your imagination. I think this is kind of like therapeutic to just be able to sit here and do the repetition of lines, creating patterns. Okay, and so I would continue this going all the way down. And then right here I'm going to have a different pattern. Well, this is kind of small, so I think for the lines here I'm going to have curved lines. Kind of like scales, but they're not really close together. All right, and then maybe up here I'm going to do something a little different. So I'm going to move on to this. This has already been an example that's a little bit further along. This is one of the funner patterns I have done in the past. And it is a series of 3 lines going in different directions. So I've got 1, 2, 3. Once I get to that, I'm now going to change and go 1, 2, 3. There's really no wrong way to do this. It's just 3 to 4 lines, and then I switch 1, 2, 3. You could add 4 if you wanted to. And what's fun about this one is it adds this really cool design when you get done with all of it. If you would like to do some for shapes, like I started with this, kind of like a drop shape, but it was kind of hard to see, so I filled it in. This is cool because it will add some contrast with some really dark areas. And so you can see up here I did kind of a wave pattern, and I would just repeat this, kind of curling around. And again, there's so many different things you can do. All right, I really want you to change up your patterns. This is where creativity comes in. And if we did all of the same, like this wave pattern over the entire thing, it would get kind of boring. So between, just a few of the ideas I've shown you here and here, that'll give you a good start. You're going to do the entire top and the entire bottom, all of the sections and all of the parts having different ideas. And again, you can use one of the handouts, or if you feel like, hey, I'm just going to look it up and find Zentangle patterns, that's Zentangles, you can find a whole bunch of ideas. So this is the last video. This is what we will do to finish this up, is do the dark outlines of our letters, outline every pencil line in black, and then finish the background in Zentangles. So have fun, enjoy, and get your creative juices flowing there.